I'm going to wait just a minute before I get started too much here until my laptop catches up with me with a little bit of a delay. And there we go. So I know that I've got sound because I just heard it on my laptop. Normally I'm sitting out in front of my kitchen, and I did that specifically because I really love my kitchen, so I sit out there. But today I thought I would move in here to the studio. I've got a little bit of an echo in here, so it's probably a little echoey in the audio. You can let me know in the comments if it is. Hopefully it's not too bad. I've got a couple of mics on me. Hey, good morning, Sheila. Good morning, James. So, hey, how you doing, Sam? So it's a tad, but not bad. Okay, so ordinarily I'll still be out there, but today I wanted to just kind of come in here with the new background in the studio. And it didn't dawn on me that it was going to be this echoey, because normally when I do a video, I clean all that up when I'm done. Normally I start this off with, oh, I bet it is, but it's very cold in Canada. It's going to be warmer today here. It's going to be up to 45, so I can't complain. Ordinarily, I start my live streams off with this caveat, and that is that I've got monetization turned off, and I will turn monetization on later. But I'm changing that. I'm not going to turn monetization on at all on my live streams. In fact, this morning, while I was at Panera, I went through and turned monetization off on all of the previous live streams. And the reason for that is there is no point, okay? Even my most viewed live streams, the monetization on it made maybe $3 or $4. I mean, what's the point? Why would I subject you to those ads if it's not worthwhile for anybody? And so I've just turned all the monetization off. I'm not going to monetize any more live streams. I just think that's a waste. Now, if I was getting 8,000 or 9,000 views, maybe. Yeah, I bet it's cold in Arkansas. I've been keeping up with that. Thank you so much about the photos. I have mentioned before that these pictures are pictures from doorways in Assisi, Italy. I have a third one over here on the floor that didn't quite go. I made 3, so I kind of look and see which ones I wanted the best. And maybe I'll swap them out every once in a while, I don't know. But my daughter Elise and her husband Zach, they built these frames on the wall for me. And then I hired the painters to come in and paint the wall. It's kind of bright in here with this overhead light on. Normally that wall's a little darker. So you were in Chattanooga and you didn't call me? I mean, come on. So anyway, I wanted to kind of get away from the old look. Every once in a while, maybe once a year, maybe once every 2 years, I try to do something a little different in here, and the reports on this so far from the video I did sort of previewing it have been very, very positive, and I appreciate that. And there's always somebody that's like, well, I like the old way better. I've got people that like my old introduction better. And I like them too, but every once in a while I got to do something different, or I'm just in a rut. One thing I did add here that you can't see here, let me just kind of lean my camera back. I've got these lights up here that I can turn on, that I'll have on when I'm actually making videos, but I don't need them today, so I'm going to turn them off. And let me go over here to, yes, we are in Amish country. And that may not be what that comment was about, but we do have an Amish market not too far from here. Anyway, my goal is to make this behind me a little darker, my face a little brighter. I don't have my lights on in here today because I just felt like that might be a little overkill. Yeah, I am making a video now. Thursday will be the first video that goes up with this background, and it's not great. The angle on the camera and everything was wrong. So a week from Thursday it'll be better. So don't hold me to that. Yes, okay. Yeah, and we're not, I say we're in Amish country. We have an Amish market about 45 minutes to an hour from here in a community of Amish people, not right where I'm at. But, you know, if you're in Pennsylvania or Ohio or those kinds of places, it is very heavily populated with that group, and it's just wonderful. So let's get a couple of things started. One is I've got a blog post going up tomorrow about some things happening on this channel, and one of them is that I'll talk about travel here in just a minute. Let me come back to that. But one of the things that's happening is, and it's happened before, in the last couple of weeks, I have lost over 200 subscribers at this point. The number just keeps diminishing. I was doing so well for a while. And you know, I get it, it happens. It's like the stock market. You can't look at a week or 2 weeks, you gotta look at 6 years. And overall, we're still doing very well, but those kinds of things do sort of make you wonder, what did I do? What did I change? And I think that the story that I've made up in my head, the reality that I've created for myself is this. I haven't done really any deep dive on this, but I gained a huge number of younger subscribers with my last viral video. And when I started doing a deeper dive into retirement, I may have lost some of them. That's okay. It happens. I've mentioned before, I've got a personal goal. It is hit and miss at a while, yeah. I've got a personal goal of hitting 100,000 subscribers. It does absolutely nothing for monetization. It does nothing for anything except stroke my ego. That's really it. You know, I've got almost 85,000 subscribers, and my videos still only get about 1,500 views, maybe 3,000 views. So there are a lot of people out there who subscribe that never come back to watch a video. And I get it, because I subscribe to a lot of channels kind of like that as well. Be 45 this year. Oh wow, just a kid. And I, you know, I subscribe to a lot of videos or a lot of channels that I want to kind of hang around and see what they're doing, and I'll watch a few, and then after a while, they don't appeal to me as much. They're not talking about stuff I liked as much. And eventually, over time, I will probably unsubscribe. So, you know, these things happen. It just shouldn't happen to me. I mean, let's just be honest. As far as travel plans, so, you know, I have this trip coming up in March to Assisi and Rome with Brittany and Elise, and Brittany's daughter Bug, and Elise's husband Zach. So that's almost 30 days from now. I mean, it's so close I can taste it. And that's going to be quite a wild trip. And I'm putting together some thoughts now on a travel video of how I do my travel. I do that every once in a while. They don't get a lot of views either, but I enjoy doing it, and some people get a lot of benefit from it. But, you know, it's one of those things where when you're trying to travel with points, And I do almost all of my solo traveling with points in some form or fashion. When you predetermine where you're going and the days you have to go, then traveling by points is really, really hard. If you're going to get any kind of value from your points. And so I'm looking at a trip now. I don't know that I'm going to take it, but I'm looking at a trip now to Bari, Italy, which is on the East Coast, down sort of in the heel of the boot, toward the heel of the boot. So it's on the other side. Man, y'all are talking a lot and I'm not paying attention. Yeah, you know, this is you're talking about subscribers. Let me just back up here and say 84,000, almost 85,000 subscribers. If my video gets 3,000 views, which is at the high end of average, 80% of those people are not subscribers. 70 to 80%. So you can see that the number of people who subscribe who actually watch the videos just got even smaller. So anyway, but so the trip to Italy, and there will be video, and the reason that there will be video is because my portion of the trip to Italy I can deduct on my taxes if I make videos. I found that out. I'm going to talk about my tax return in a minute. I found that out when I filed this year's taxes, just how handy that can be. So we have I've scheduled 3 tours on this trip. One to the Colosseum, one to the Vatican museums, and a food tour. All in Rome. I don't have anything planned for Assisi except to go to the churches there and enjoy some food. And in all of those, I decided that I would splurge and do private tours. So it will just be the 5 of us and a tour guide on all of those things. And if you're looking for those kinds of things to do, I mean, they're not cheap, but they're not overly expensive. If it's like 2 or 3 in your family and you want to do just the 2 or 3 of you on a tour while you're somewhere, look up private tours and see if it's something that you can afford, because it is well worth the effort. What's going on, James? Oh, James Mirror Channel. Is that Sand Scratcher? Really? Anyway, so we have those tours planned. We do have some churches specifically that I want to share with my kids, and then, you know, we're looking now into James, is the James Mirror Channel something I should subscribe to? We're looking at restaurants. So, you know, one of the ways that I use AI with my trip is, like, I went into ChatGPT and I said, I will be in Rome staying at a VRBO just behind the Pantheon on these dates. And we're going to arrive there on the afternoon, I think it's the 11th. We'll come from Assisi, that's a Wednesday. We'll get there in the afternoon, almost around dinner time. We will be tired, we'll be exhausted. Where can we go find traditional Italian cuisine at places that are not considered tourist traps for restaurants within walking distance of the Pantheon? Give me 5 choices. So it did. It gave me 5 choices. It gave me the walking distance. It gave me a map on how to get there. It gave me the menu that they're most noted for. It gave me an idea of what it's going to cost to go there. And I shared that with the kids, and I said, here are 5 places we need to think about. Maybe we want to go just for this one meal. And I heard back from one of them that said, you know, this one spot here is someplace that I've wanted to try. And so I'm like, well, I think that just decided it. So I think we're going to go there. So AI does a really, really good job. With the trip to Bari, one of the things that I am doing now, my original goal was to go to Lecce, which is about an hour and a half south of Bari. And the more I looked at Bari, I thought, why would I leave there? It's a coastal town. It's the home of St. Nicholas. Well, it's actually where he's buried. And so, you know, why don't I do some looking here? So I gave ChatGPT the fact that I would be staying in Old Town, and I would be there on these dates, and I would like it to create for me an itinerary for every day that I'm there. I want to go take pictures, I want to shoot video for YouTube, and I want to enjoy the local cuisine. And it did. It laid out an itinerary for each day. It gave me why these spots were good for photography. It gave me ideas on shooting video. I mean, these are the kinds of things that I like to use AI for. And so whether you use, man, y'all are having lunch already? What is it with the pizza? Anyway, whether in the free version or the paid version, you can get these same kinds of results using some form of AI. ChatGPT or Perplexity. Well, you know, I mean, those are the ones that I typically use. I do pay for the account on X, Twitter, so I have access to Grok, which is a really good fact-checking AI. But they tell me from things that I've looked at on YouTube that the new Gemini upgrades in Google are really good. And so I haven't started using that yet, but I am going to try it out. There are, you know, there's Claude. Claude is good, but if you pay for Perplexity, then you're getting access to things like ChatGPT and Claude and others that it data mines on those sites as well. It's one of the reasons I use it. So yeah, I start somewhere and go from there. Grok has become increasingly helpful for creating some things for thumbnails for my live streams. Now, today's live stream thumbnail was actually a picture that I took downtown Chattanooga. Carrabba's is definitely better than Olive Garden. I did catch that in the chat. Olive Garden, please. I don't even know what I was talking about now. Carrabba's got me hungry. One of the things that'll just lead me up to this. One of the things that I'm going to start doing on this channel, something I've wanted to do for, I don't know, about a year and a half, is to start going to restaurants in Chattanooga and maybe not so much a review as this is what you get when you come here. If you come to Chattanooga, this might be someplace that you're interested in visiting. And I'm going to put them in a playlist called Chattanooga Eats. Okay, yeah. Let me come back to Chattanooga Eats in a minute. Let me go here. There is a plugin that I have, and I've shared this with Ron a couple of times. There is a plugin called GLASP, G-L-A-S-P, that I have installed on my Chrome browser. So when I open up a YouTube video, well, in fact, let me see if I can show you here. This is me, okay? And up in here is a little thing here that I can click that's the link to Glasp. And what it will do is open up ChatGPT and put the entire transcript of the video in a chat box. And then it will give me an outline with the most important points through the video. So if I'm looking at something like I shared this with Ron, it might have been this morning. I didn't want to watch a 30-minute video from Think Media on what the latest trends are on YouTube. I wanted to know what he said. So I clicked the little Glasp button. It opened up ChatGPT, filled in the transcript from a 30-minute video, and then it gave me point by point everything that the report laid out. And then I can just share that. I shared that with Ron so he could read it. And now you have to go into Glasp and set up how you want it to give you answers. But that takes about 30 seconds. I mean, it's not hard. And so I think Glasp is just, it's probably pulling the transcript from YouTube, because as soon as you upload a video to YouTube, YouTube creates a transcript for that video. That's where the closed captioning comes from. That's where it gets part of its idea for how the algorithm is going to treat the video. Does your title and your thumbnail and your transcript, do they all sort of line up? Are you trying to scam the system here? And so that idea of creating that transcript, it happens automatically. So I don't know if it's actually scanning the audio or if it's just pulling the transcript from YouTube. I don't know. So anyway, I don't even know. Oh, I was on Chattanooga Eats. So this morning, actually, I'm going downtown to try my hand at doing this for a video for the Life in Motion Diaries channel on Friday. There is a place downtown that I thought about going because it's also a coffee shop, and I do a lot of stuff with coffee shops on the Life in Motion Diaries channel. And they're generally 3 or 4 minute videos. They're just sort of music with some text over it, just showing the place and that kind of thing. But this is a place downtown right across the street from the Choo Choo called the Hot Chocolatier. They have a location on Market Street, and then they have a location in St. Elmo. So I'm going to the location on Market Street. They open at 11. They're closed on Mondays, but they're open the other 6 days. They open at 11. And it's owned by a local couple, and I'm going to try the hot chocolate and maybe something from their chocolate menu. And it will be sort of a B-roll of what the place looks like inside, but also me talking about what I'm drinking or what I'm eating, and maybe some background history about the place. And I think, Ariana, I think it's a perfect day for hot chocolate. And so the video on Friday on the Life in Motion Diaries channel will sort of be my practice video for what the Chattanooga Eats playlist could look like. And so those videos will be 8 to 10 minutes probably, with me talking and ordering something and sharing the food and talking about the menu and using something like ChatGPT or Perplexity to get background information on the place. And what's really held me up is that for the longest time, I was trying so hard to do such a strict carnivore diet that I did not want to mess that up by going out to eat much. And now I'm more relaxed in all of that. I'm still eating mostly carnivore, but I'm just eating raw foods. I'm not eating a lot of processed foods. And so I feel like I can sort of branch out, maybe do a couple of those a month. And so on Friday, if you don't watch the Life in Motion Diaries channel, go over there and watch Friday, because that will be the video for Friday. You can kind of see what that's going to look like. And like I said, there will be a new playlist called Chattanooga Eats, and all of those videos will be held there. and just something to, because I want to talk about Chattanooga. I want to talk about my home. And that would include Hickson and Red Bank and Soddy Daisy and St. Elmo and maybe all the way up to Ooltewah, some places like that. There you go, Robin. And, you know, plus, just sort of as an added little piece of information that I probably won't talk about in these videos, and I won't do it, I won't do just these restaurants, but like, I just discovered yesterday that on my Chase Sapphire Reserve business card, once every 6 months, I can buy a $50 gift card to the Outback Steakhouse. Now I have a choice of places. Outback is what I chose. So a $50 gift card, and as soon as that charge hits my card, Chase reimburses me the $50. And so, and I have a screenshot of that on my phone, I can't show you. So it's already reimbursed me. So I've got a $50 gift card. So I went to lunch yesterday at Outback, had a little salad, had some chili, spent $23. Didn't cost me a dime. With my American Express Platinum card, I can go to Resi restaurants and I can spend up to $100 every 3 months, and I'll get that reimbursed on my card. And I don't have to do anything except just charge the meal. So, for instance, one of the Resi restaurants that I go to sometimes is J. Alexander's, and anytime I go there, I use the Platinum card. I also get some money toward those off my American Express Gold card, so I actually have more than $100 every 3 months. But another place that I really love and want to do a review of downtown is a place called Hello Monte. It's one of my favorite restaurants in Chattanooga, and if I go there and buy lunch, charge it to my American Express Platinum card, it's free. I get reimbursed from that automatically. So Resi, R-E-Z-Y, I think. It's like Open Table. It's a place where you can go online and make reservations, and it's mostly sort of a little more expensive, higher price places. And they're all over the United States. I don't know about outside the United States, but I think they're also international. But there are probably 10 restaurants or so in Chattanooga that I could go to and the meal would be free. So let's see, what have I got here? I've lost that's in the last year. What am I at here? I've lost my live stream here. There we go. So, we all are talking about Texas Roadhouse and Longhorn Steakhouse. You know, I like both of those places, but I think for this particular playlist, I'm going to try to keep it more toward non-chain or local chain restaurants. So, you know, J. Alexander's I won't bother with because everybody knows what J. Alexander's is like, and Texas Roadhouse and Longhorn Steakhouse, and you know, there's no reason to go to Bojangles unless you want a breakfast biscuit. But you know, places that are more specific to Chattanooga. One exception I might make would be a restaurant like the Frothy Monkey, which is more of a localized Tennessee chain, or maybe Puckett's downtown, because it's more of a localized Tennessee chain. So they might crop up, but mostly, you know, on the Resi list, I know there is a ramen place downtown. There's a couple of Italian places downtown. There's Hello Monte. There's some others. So I don't know about Bojangles where they're located, but if you want a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit in the morning, Bojangles is the place to go. So anyway, talked about all of that. Let's come down to taxes. I'm not going to do what YouTube paid me in the last year video this year. I think I've pretty much done all that I can do. Next year, I might do something more with how I saved on taxes. Now that I've kind of tried it out this year, my income from last year across all 3 channels and memberships, which we made about $260 in memberships in the 6 months from June to the end of December. So that's halfway to my $500 goal. So having the money to do the grant in July we're on track. But I made it was a little over $13,000, maybe $13,300. And of course, YouTube doesn't hold any taxes out from that. Yes, it can be costly, Ron. Because even though I'm retired, I have to pay federal income tax out of that money and Social Security withholding tax out of that money. And fortunately, I'm in Tennessee, so there's no state tax. But if I was in a state that required state tax, I'd be paying that too. So my tax burden on that was just a little over $1,800. Now, you know, I kind of knew that was coming, and so I wasn't overly surprised by that. But my overall tax bill this year was higher than it has been in previous years because I cashed out an annuity, and that annuity, even though I paid taxes on it, put me in a new tax zone and a new tax bracket, and my taxes went up. And so I was like, holy crap, I don't want to pay this. So instead of just filling out stuff on TurboTax, I paid the $150 to let somebody at TurboTax do my taxes, just to make sure if I get audited, I've got somebody there who will take care of the audit for me. And so I asked this lady, you know, I took a deduction on this room, and that was like $750 for using this room for my YouTube studio. I did not do anything with the kitchen, and I could have, but I didn't. So I asked this lady, I said, I did go to Scotland, and I made videos in Scotland for my YouTube channels, all 3 YouTube channels. Can I deduct that? And she said, well, if you went just to make videos and it wasn't a vacation, then yes. And I said, okay, let's just say that's what I did. Because I did a live stream every day. I did a photography video. I did all kinds of videos while I was there. Overall, that took about, and I went back through my Amazon account and got out all the stuff that I had bought for equipment, the mics I had bought, you know, anything that was over $100. Actually, anything that's over $50, I think I added. So anyway, after I got done with all of that, it shaved about $1,000 off my taxes. So this year I will be a lot more careful about keeping track of my expenses. Because I have a lot, you know. So anyway, if you are looking to be monetized or just gotten monetized on YouTube, you get a 1099 miscellaneous, 1099 MISC, and it will come coded as royalties. So that's not just income like your 1099 or the 1099-R that you get. That is self-employment tax. And it's taxed at a little higher rate, and it will bite you in the butt if you're making any money at all. Now, if you're making $100 or $200 a month on YouTube, and you know that's the extent of what you're doing, it's probably not going to impact your taxes a lot. And so, but you know, $13,000, that's nothing to sneeze at. So you just have to be prepared. and know that it's coming at the end of the year. Let's see, what else were we going to talk about today? Yeah, they do. Yeah, see, I mean, and that's about right. I have to wonder. I think my 1099 MISC. I think it stands on its own. I don't think that it's impacted by the tax bracket that I'm in, because it's filed as a separate entity. But yeah, that annuity, yeah, that one kicked my butt. Because I was expecting to pay $500 or $600 in taxes. I mean, let's face it, but not what I paid. So anyway, this is kind of a freak year for me. It won't be that way next year, and next year we'll go back to doing something kind of normal. And right now, I think in January, I made about $250 instead of the $1,000 that I have been making as an average. So, if that keeps up, then the IRS may owe me money at the end of the year. Yes, definitely. This is one of the mistakes that I made, and I need to try to correct it. When I took my Social Security, I did not keep any taxes out. I knew kind of where my tax bracket was going to wind up, and I didn't, with the deductions and everything, I felt like I would probably owe $300 to $500 at the end of the year. And I used to take out, when I was working, I took out every possible thing I could take out, made the least amount of take-home money I could take home, and always got this return at the end of the year, maybe $1,500, something like that. But the IRS is just holding my money, and they're not paying me any interest on that money. And so I decided now that I would not withhold any tax, that I would just pay the tax at the end of the year, because new one's going to be much. But when it kicked me into a new tax bracket, it hurt. So there will be a new tax bracket next year. Yeah, and it's one of the reasons why I decided not to do a video this year, because that cashing out that annuity really skewed everything. So maybe next year I'll talk a little more about taxes for YouTubers. But let's get another year behind us before we do that. Where are we at? We're about 38 minutes in. Okay, so I think, yeah, I may redo my Social Security to take out a couple $100 a month. Yeah, that way I'm not blindsided at the end of the year. But at the same time, I will make less money on YouTube this year, even if it's just a little bit less, because I'm not doing any videos on my photography channel any longer. And because I've gone from 3 videos a week to 2 videos a week to now just 1 video a week on my Life in Motion Diaries channel, and they're getting 200 to 300 views, when your videos are getting $6 per 1,000, then the videos are making $2 to $3 a piece. Not a lot of money tied up in that. And so, I have my fingers crossed for one more sort of at least semi-viral video this year. I'm not planning for it, it's just the luck of the draw. Because I would love to get pushed over that 100,000 mark, but I'm not counting on that too much. Let's see. Yeah, and we all got that one channel, Ron. And I did make a video when I decided to stop posting on the photography channel. I made a video saying that I would take it offline after a while. But I had several, I wouldn't say a lot, I had several comments asking me not to do that. And so, because, you know, there are things in there that people might like to watch. So instead, what I think I'm going to do is just go through, you know, it's 10 years of videos, but just go through and turn comments off. And then I don't have to worry about logging in. Excuse me, I don't know where this belching stuff is coming from, but it's embarrassing. I don't have to log in and check to somebody I need to respond to. It can just go out there. If it makes 20 bucks in a year, makes 20 bucks in a year. Let's see. I would highly recommend that you start something with your art. I think it's there is a lady, her name is Eddie. I don't remember the name of her channel. I'll have to look it up, but I think she does like some art. And there's another, maybe it's the Debbie channel in Kentucky. I think she might do watercolors or something. And then there's another channel that I follow that does some artwork as well. And they're not just art, but I think that watching people create, you don't even have to speak. Just find some music, watch people create a piece of art, video it over several days or a week or whatever, how long it takes for you to get it done. There is something soothing about those kinds of videos that a lot of people, I think, would enjoy. And it's why so many silent channels thrive. You know, there are these channels out there that are like, spend the day with me. And, you know, they're making coffee, they're making the bed, they're cleaning their house, they're going for a walk. They never say a word. Or a channel that I have talked about before, Mari Life, pretty sure she's in Korea. And she goes camping and never speaks. In fact, when her channel first came out, you never saw her face. That's changed over time. She did car camping for the longest time, and then, you know, she got millions of viewers and subscribers, and people started sending her free stuff. So pretty soon she was putting up tents and putting stuff on top of her truck and, you know, whatever. She's gone crazy, but it's all no talking, just music, and, you know, subtitles about what she's doing. And those videos are 25, 30 minutes long, and I will watch it from beginning to end because it's just fascinating to me. Now, I don't watch every one she puts out, but those kinds of channels are just kind of slow living, soothing channels. And I've said all that to say, start your channel. Yeah, Ariana, that sounds like a great concept for a channel. And when you do it, make sure that I'm aware so that I can be one of your first subscribers. I would love to come along for the ride. Okay, so before I say goodbye, we're almost 45 minutes in here. Do you have any specific questions? I mean, there's been some already about travel and stuff. But do you have specific questions you'd like to ask before I turn this off? Because it doesn't need to be just all me. When is our next Zoom? Is that for the members? I will schedule that for this month. I think we're due for another one. James, I'll send you some links, buddy. I'll go into WhatsApp and send you some links. You can look them up. Yeah, let's try to do a member Zoom call this month. And those have been fun. I just haven't put a lot of effort into that. Also, Ron does a photographers roundtable live stream that's on Zoom. I think there were 6 of us in the last live, so there's like 6 or 7 of us that meet. And because YouTube now does collaborations, that video, you may see that video on this website. Ron gets credit for all the views. He gets credit for all the monetization. I don't get any credit for anything except people see that I'm in there. And I didn't want to put it on my photography channel because I said I wasn't going to post any more photography videos. So it'll be on this channel. And so the last one that we did was last week. And they're just a lot of fun. And we laugh and cut up and talk about camera stuff. And they talk mostly about Nikon crap. And so, you know, I just kind of sit back and think about other things like Italy. Also, Ariana, since you have asked that question, that's a Ron question. But since you've asked that question, I have done a few interviews on this channel. And if you're interested, if you have a photography channel, let me put it that way. If you have not a photography channel, if you have a YouTube channel, I don't care if you got 3 subscribers or 3 million subscribers. If you'd like to do an interview with me for this channel, I would love to talk with you. We do that over Zoom. There's nothing ever planned out ahead of time. I ask the questions that come to mind while we're talking, and they last about 45 minutes or so. And it's just a really cool way for other people to find you. I interviewed James already. I've interviewed Ron. I interviewed Sam from Simply Clutter Free. And so, you know, if you're interested in that, reach out to me by email. The email for this channel is just thenewretiredme@gmail.com. It's public on the YouTube channel. Not giving out any secret information here. You know, and I have reached out to a couple of people who said, yeah, I'd love to, but I can't do it right now. Call me next week or email me. And so I've emailed them 2 or 3 more times, and I got ghosted. And they're not going to be interviewed now. So, but anyway, it's a lot of fun. And even for somebody like me as an introvert that doesn't like to have conversations with people I don't know, I find it good for me to do. So I'm more than happy to sort of work that into the rotation. What I've sort of done on this channel at this point is Thursdays are my anchor videos. They're the ones I plan and put work into, and right now we're going through this retirement series. It's going to last a while, so just buckle up. Tuesdays are my other videos. The Chattanooga Eats will come out on Tuesdays. Interviews would come out on Tuesdays. Those kinds of things. Now, I have been contacted, but I'm not sure if I've been ghosted again or not. But I have been contacted by Hemingway, the last bike that I reviewed, which I absolutely love. That Hemingway D5 2.0 bike is a beast. It's a 26-inch fat tire bike. And they reached out to me. They're coming out with a new bike. It's not even on their website yet. It's the D5, but it will be a 20-inch fat tire bike, more for the female market, because that 26-inch bike is 90 pounds. I mean, it's a big bike. So by doing a little smaller bike, gets the weight down a little bit. And they asked me if I'd be willing to do a review video on that bike. And I did say yes. I will do some review videos now and again, but I'm not doing any affiliate marketing. There's no affiliate links on those. They give me the bike. I'm very happy to get the bike. And they give a discount code if somebody wants to buy the bike off my video. So far, I think I've had this many people buy bikes, but I get a bike, and I'm not turning down another D50. So I'm waiting to hear back from them now, see if they still want to go with that or not. Ron, we are not going when it's 40 degrees outside. And it's going to be cold for a little while now, but we will arrange it. And Ron and I are wanting to go down to Old Car City in White, Georgia, which is 30 some odd acres of just junk put out in the wild, trees growing up through the cars, rusting out, hulls of bodies. It's a great place. Photographers go there all the time. If you want to look it up on the internet, just look up Old Car City, White, Georgia. I think it's a $25 charge if you're a photographer. And you can just make some phenomenal pictures down there. So I haven't been in a couple of years. There is a video on my photography channel way back. If you go over there and do a search for Old Car City, you'll find it. It's a great place to fly the drone and to take pictures and all that kind of stuff. Camping is coming soon, Ron. I won't be camping in Chattanooga, but I do want to go on a camping trip. I'm not sure where yet, but as soon as the weather permits, probably after I get back from Italy, probably not before then, because that's just like 4 weeks from now. Okay, I have blathered on and on and on. I appreciate all of you being here. I see 13 of you have given me a thumbs up. If you're still here, give me a thumbs up on the video, help it get pushed out by the algorithm. Again, I'm not going to monetize it, so it's not for that. But anyway, I appreciate y'all being here, and we're first Tuesday of every month. I think the first Tuesday of March, I'm actually in Italy, so that would be an interesting live stream. Think about that. I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.